An ASP.NET Web Application project is the starting point in creating an ASP.NET website. Projects contain all of the web pages, images, and other files that are needed to create a website. In this lesson, we'll create an ASP.NET Web Application project. To start with, we'll open Visual Studio. To create a new project, I'll click File, New Project. This is the New Project dialog. You can see lots of different types of project here. In this book, you'll only be working with the ASP.NET Web Application and ASP.NET Empty Web Application project types, but many more will be covered in the Expert Skills book in this series. You'll also notice the ASP.NET MVC projects. MVC stands for Model, View, Controller. It's a programming methodology where all code is separated into those three groups. MVC web application projects exist for programmers who want to use the MVC methodology. ASP.NET isn't really designed for the MVC methodology, so MVC projects tend to be harder to work with than standard web applications, especially if you're new to programming. For this reason, you won't use MVC projects in this book. In the top left panel, you'll notice that Visual C# is selected. You'll only work with C# in this course rather than Visual Basic. This is because C# is a more sought-after skill. Several surveys have shown that there are more jobs advertised for C# developers than Visual Basic, so your skills will be more marketable by choosing C#. Regardless of this, C# and Visual Basic are very similar indeed. If you learn C#, you should find that Visual Basic is very easy to pick up. In this instance, we're going to create an ASP.NET web application, so I'll click that. The next step is to give a name to the new project. I'll type My Project into the name box. Notice that the Solution name box automatically copies what I type. Finally, we'll need to tell Visual Studio where to put the project. To do this, I'll click the Browse button and then browse to the Sample Files folder and click Select Folder. Before continuing, make sure that the Create Directory for Solution box is ticked. Then click OK. Your new project has now been created and is automatically opened. We are now going to examine the new project in Windows, so we'll close Visual Studio. We'll now open the Sample Files folder. And we can see that there's a new folder for My Project. We'll open that folder now. As you can see, there are two files, myproject.sln and myproject.suo, as well as another folder called My Project. myproject.sln is the solution file. The solution file tells Visual Studio which files are in your project. If you double-click on it, your project will be opened in Visual Studio. myproject.suo is hidden by default, so you will only see it if you have configured Windows to display hidden files. The SUO file is used to store settings for your project and will be automatically updated when you use Visual Studio. You will never have to open it directly. The rest of the files in the project are in the My Project folder, so let's open that. This folder has many more files in it. These are the files that contain all of the code and content for your site. You'll notice a file named myproject.csproj. This is the project file. Projects are very similar to solutions. You can open your project by simply double-clicking myproject.csproj in exactly the same way as you can open it by double-clicking myproject.sln. The major difference is that a solution can contain several projects. In the course of this book, you'll only work with one project at a time, so it doesn't matter which file you use to open your projects. Finally, I'll open the project by double-clicking myproject.csproj. I could have done exactly the same thing by double-clicking myproject.sln. You've now completed Lesson 1.5, Create an ASP.NET Web Application Project.